In 2005, the Bengaluru-based United Breweries Group decided to launch a new commercial airline. They positioned Kingfisher Airlines as a luxury experience, stocking their fleet with brand-new Airbus jets, and openly planning to join the elite One World Aviation Alliance. The driving force behind this aggressive expansion was Vijay Mallya, a high-profile billionaire chairman known for his vast corporate ambitions. To capture market share quickly, the company bought out its competitor, the low-cost carrier Air Deccan, adding dozens of physical aircraft to their roster almost overnight. From the outside, Kingfisher looked like a dominant aviation empire, but that premium exterior masked a business model losing cash on every flight. Between 2005 and 2011, Kingfisher Airlines never recorded a single profitable year. This chart maps net profit from 2005 through 2011. Every bar drops below zero, accumulating a massive loss of nearly 6,000 crore rupees. Highlighting the period from 2008, you see how the Air Deccan acquisition severely deepened the deficit, dragging finances further into the red. By late 2011, those compounding debts triggered government intervention. The Indian Income Tax Department froze the airline's bank accounts to recover millions in unpaid taxes. With its accounts locked, the airline could no longer move cash. A slow 6-year financial bleed became an immediate company-wide operational crisis. The most immediate consequence of the frozen accounts appeared directly on the tarmac. Kingfisher didn't actually own many of its planes, it rented them. Major international leasing companies, including GCAS and DVB, sued the airline when it missed its rental payments, demanding their Airbus jets back. Domestic suppliers like Hindustan Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum followed suit, shutting off the hoses and refusing to pump jet fuel until their outstanding bills were settled. Without fuel to fly or parts to maintain the engines, Kingfisher was forced to ground 15 jets and eventually half of its 64-plane fleet. Commercial aviation relies entirely on continuous credit. When the vendors who own the planes and control the fuel withdraw their assets, the physical operation stops entirely. Well before the planes were grounded, the banking sector had already tried to save the company through a massive intervention in 2010 called the Debt Recast Package. A consortium of 18 different lenders agreed to a bailout. They took a large portion of the debt Kingfisher owed them and converted it into equity, hoping to keep the airline's interest rates manageable. These lenders held enormous exposure. The lead institution in the consortium, the State Bank of India, alone held nearly 15 billion rupees in risk. Even with the restructured terms, Kingfisher missed its payments again. By early 2012, SBI and multiple other lenders officially declared the airline a non-performing asset, banking terminology for a loan that is likely never going to be repaid. Once the banks labeled Kingfisher a toxic asset and the Indian government officially ruled out a second bailout, the airline was completely cut off from the external capital it needed to survive. Inside the corporate structure, the lack of capital translated directly into missed paychecks for the company's 6,000 employees. As the Income Tax Department froze the airline's accounts in late 2011, staff went weeks and then consecutive months without seeing a single salary deposit. The situation pushed the flight crews to the breaking point. Pilots began staging strikes, and those who remained made direct announcements over the cabin PA systems, telling passengers they were flying strictly out of a sense of duty, despite not being paid. Eventually, that sense of duty couldn't cover rent or food. Unpaid staff gathered in protest and ultimately walked away from their posts, bringing the remaining operations to a standstill. A company is only as functional as the people running it. When the workforce can no longer afford to show up, the corporate entity simply dies from the inside out. By late 2012, Kingfisher was operating only a fraction of its original schedule. Ticket sales plummeted further when the International Air Transport Association suspended the airline over its unpaid clearinghouse bills, effectively blocking travel agents from booking international flights. The legal system began closing in as well. Kingfisher started bouncing checks written for basic landing and management fees to the Airports Authority of India, prompting courts to issue non-bailable arrest warrants for company executives. The regulatory authorities delivered the final blow. On October 20, 2012, India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation officially suspended Kingfisher's flying license after the airline failed to prove it could operate safely or viably. This terminal erosion of net worth systematically broke every vital link in the aviation chain, from the taxman and the fuel trucks to the banks and the employees themselves.